try to recreate our offense every year. I try not to just be the same. You know, who are we? What are we good at? And then let's go craft an offense that fits what those guys can do really well.
Yeah, here we go.
Says on the beat, boy.
Cause he wanna light. Headlights, I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that bitch into the fence. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Headlights, I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that bitch into the fence. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah.
Hi guys, we're here to talk about Deuce Vaughn. You know, he's going to be entering his second year with the Dallas Cowboys, and he's putting in some serious work in the offseason. And I'm pretty sure that I can share the sentiment that we're all very, very grateful that he's putting in the work. We see the clips, we see, you know, his elusiveness, we see the good footwork, the good balance, and all of the things that he's working on. And, you know, it's going to build onto what his rookie year was with the Cowboys. He started off, had a hot start in preseason, but, you know, had a meh kind of rookie year, you know. A lot of it wasn't his fault. A lot of it was, you know, not really getting in rhythm, not being able to really use his skill set the way that we really want to. But into the second year, the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to be able to implement Deuce Vaughn with how the roster's constructed. And with how this roster is constructed, at the moment, we have three running backs that we can really count on from last year. You have Hunter Lipke, who was our fullback slash H-back weapon in that capacity, which he also had some growing pains in his rookie year. And we got Rico, who for the most part got some touches in this year when it was his first year of getting touches. So we don't have a lot of experience. We don't have a lot of talent back there. Let's just keep it 100. I know we love our guys. I know we want to believe that our guys are the very, very best at what they do. We want to believe that the front office just gets the very best of the best all the time. And because we see them all the time and we love them, we want to think the very best of them. But let's just keep it 100 with what we have. We don't have the most talented backfield. But what I am starting to do now, you know, being a football guy, being a football coach, you got to appreciate the things that you do have in a sense. And with that, you have to know that I have to be able to build on the skill sets of the guys that I have. And that's what Steve Sarkisian was talking about, you know, highly merited offensive coordinator. Everybody, for the most part, should know who Steve Sarkisian is. And when he said that, it's like, okay, your offense shouldn't look the same every year. You should be able to use the tools that you have. So what are the things that Deuce Vaughn is good at? Deuce Vaughn is good at being in space, being elusive, making people miss an open field. Very, very quick. You saw how good and his feet are. You saw how he's able to plant, and he has really good feet, you know. He can carry the ball on the goal line. He can churn for extra yards after contact and things of that nature. You know, but for the most part, you want to get a guy like that in space. His stature, he doesn't have a huge stature. He doesn't have a big stature. He's not going to run through guys and do a whole bunch of inside zones and things like we tried to do, like on that play where, you know, he got stuffed in the backfield. Now I understand that it was a blowout at the time and we're trying to churn down, you know, we're trying to churn down the clock and stuff of that nature. But you have to realize that Deuce, when he did get reps this year, we didn't put him in the best situations. We're not very good at running screens and getting the ball to the running back in open space. We have to get better at that this year, you know. And that is one thing that I do appreciate about like an Andy Reid, for example. His offenses never look the same. You know, you look at Kansas City, they're always struggling at receiver. They're always trying to figure out, they have a different set of receivers every year, and it looks different. This year, it looked a lot more conservative. The year before that, it had a whole bunch of bells and whistles with motions and stuff like that. That's what Dallas is going to have to be able to do. And the reason that I keep using Kansas City is they're a dynasty. They won 3 Super Bowls in, 4 years or whatnot. That's what they are. That's where we want to get to. So that's where you want to get to. You got to be able to use what the champs are doing and be able to implement some of those things. And not just them, but like look at Baltimore, how they implement their run game. Maybe you want to take some things from that. The best offensive coordinators, and I learned this from Brian Broaddus, they steal from others. You know, you steal and you use the things that you have that are similar and you scheme that way. Dallas is going to have to be able to do that with Deuce Vaughn. So I'm trying to think of a back out there that's very, very similar to him in which another team uses him well in space. When I think of it, I'll let you know. But for what I would do, a guy like him, I think that I would use him kind of how we used to use Lance Dunbar. You know, where you can line them up, you can go empty, get him on some of the some of the mesh concepts underneath, and get him in space that way. We're not that great at we're not that great at screens for some odd reason, and maybe when we get the offensive lineman like we want, maybe we get one or two offensive linemen we're able to get out, or maybe Dak starts working on his arm angles a little bit when it comes to the screen game. But you know, that's how we're gonna have to use Deuce. And with Rico, we'll be able to do some of the more RB1 type stuff. But for now, appreciate the things we have. We have Deuce. He's elusive. What I'm saying? He's not gonna run through a whole bunch of people, but he's a guy that can find creases. He's a guy that can in open space. Make some chunk plays. You saw him make a chunk play on that catch against the New York Giants. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I do know that the Cowboys are going to draft a running back. They're going to draft a running back, and there's still a good chance that Deuce could be on the roster, even with that running back. So the Cowboys are going to have to figure out, okay, how can we incorporate him? This is what we have now. So if I'm going to the drawing board and Mike McCarthy and them, and I know that they're working on the draft and stuff like that, but you can still do two things at once. We're still crafting on the guys we have now and some of the things we want to get better at. And using Deuce, I think, could help boost the offense and give it a little bit of an injection that it needs. But I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I'm out. Peace. Yeah, I almost forgot. If y'all looking for some fire to get behind as far as the movement, again, guys, I'm trying to be the run game consultant here. I got running backs matter. I got linebackers matter t-shirts. Go to the website. Go support. Let's get Dallas a good linebacker and a good running back in this year's draft. Appreciate y'all. Peace.